Hey guys, welcome back to another video here on the randomness of Jason McDaniel, and I'm back again with another video, and back with another episode of JoJo Yap, or JoJo Yap. Oh my gosh. Anyways, in today's video, we're going to be yapping and reviewing part 7 of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Steel Ball Run. I haven't made like one of these reviews in a while, just because it took me a while to finish part 7, and there were some arcs, that I needed some of my more sighted friends to, like, describe to me, because I was watching the fan dub on YouTube, and there were some arcs, for example, the Catch the Rainbow arc and the Civil War arc that they needed to describe, because there were some silent parts. But with that out of the way, let's get into part 7 itself. So I'm going to talk about our main characters, our main protagonists of this part, Johnny Joestar and Gyro Zeppeli. This part, of course, I already told you guys in the last video in part 6 that this part is set in a new universe now, so we kind of go back to around the time of when part 1 took place, but it's in a new universe, so it's kind of different. And as I said, in the last video, I was, because up to that point, I started part 7, but I was only like, I don't think I was even a quarter way through. So up to that point, I already started reading part 7, but I didn't know how good of a part it would be, and we'll talk about that later in the video. But I said in my part 6 review that I was kind of sad that, like, the old universe was gone and the universe was reset. I think I'm always gonna have a soft spot for the old JoJo universe, but also at the same time, I know that the new universe is still really, really cool. And as I read more stuff from the new universe, I kind of like it more. But I will always like the old universe, even though this part is my favorite JoJo part. But yeah. So we meet, here's some of the other characters that we first meet. We meet Poco Loco, Sandman, the new universe's version of Diego Brando, Steven Steele, and his wife Lucy Steele, and we meet, who else? And then, of course, we meet the President of the United States, the 23rd President of the United States, Funny Valentine, and he's the main villain of this part, and we'll get to all about him later. So, now I'm going to talk about what the whole story of this part is. So, the Steel Ball Run is a horse race that is happening across the United States. It goes all the way to New York. It's a cross-country race across the continent, across the country. And basically, the goal of the race is there's 9 stages, and each stage, they have to, they find a corpse part. And whose corpse is this, in fact? It's the corpse of Jesus Christ. So, that's basically their whole goal throughout this entire race. It's basically the main goal. But of course, we get stand users And we also get spin and spin users, such as Gyro and such as some other characters I'll talk about soon too. Yeah. So, speaking of the spin, I guess I'll mention the spin now. So, the spin is the third power system we get introduced in JoJo. We only know about it in the new universe, and basically, the spin is not really like stands, but they can be used with stands, such like Johnny, for example, uses it with his stand, Tusk. And there's 4 acts of Tusk, which I'll talk about. But basically, you can use the spin to do all sorts of things. To fight, people, to, heal, people, and it works in all sorts of different ways. But basically, the whole reason that Johnny got into this race is because because he was in a wheelchair and he couldn't walk. And so he was going to try to get into this race and use the power of the spin to stand up, which eventually you see by the end of the part. So we have Poco Loco, Sandman, Diego, and we have the new universe's version of Muhammad Abdal, which he tries to ride on a camel, and then literally, like, I don't think he even finishes I don't even remember if he finished the first stage. I think he didn't even make it to the end of the first stage. Just weird. Or that was so stupid. Because he was basically bragging to himself about how he was going to win this race. And then boom, he didn't even finish the first stage. I just thought that was so funny to bring up. But anyway, now we'll start talking about, I guess, some of the fights. I'm not going to talk about everything because I want you guys to go watch it or go read it. I'm not going to spoil I'm not going to spoil everything. I think I say that in like almost every review video. I don't know why I do, but I say that a lot because I do spoil a bunch, but I also try not to spoil everything. So I don't know. Anyway, I guess the first fight I'll talk about, or the first fight that I remember being really good, because there were some bad fights, like in the beginning of part 7 and like the first half. That's why for me it was like it didn't really feel like my favorite part until I got to the end of D4C and Ball Breaker. Just because, although I did like the whole concept of the horse race and the steel ball run and all those certain things, in my mind, I just thought it's going to be one of the lower parts for me. Up until, yeah. I guess first we'll talk about the scary monsters fight. And this is Diego's stand. Basically, he can turn things into dinosaurs, and even himself into a dinosaur. And it's a pretty cool ability. So we get the scary monsters fight. And then we get, I'm trying to think of like all the notable fights. Didn't Mandem, I think Mandem I'm forgetting when it happened, but I know it was, like, before Catch the Rainbow. Might have been before? Something like that. Mandem, which was that's basically, it would rewind time to, like, 6 seconds. And basically that was the whole, it was the whole True Man's World arc with, Ringo Road again, and his character. I think that, yeah, that was his stand. Mandem, and, him and Gyro had a fight, where Gyro basically used the spin to, break his watch and, break, I think it was like his shoulder bone or something like that. So, he couldn't use his stand anymore to rewind time to 6 seconds, or back from 6 seconds. I thought that was a pretty cool fight. And then there was that, and then there was Catch the Rainbow with Blackmore. I thought his stand was really cool. Dude, I love Blackmore and how they gave, like, especially even in the fan dub, how they gave him his New York accent. Because, I mean, that's just who Blackmore is. Yeah, so, I thought I thought the whole Catch the Rainbow arc was really, really cool. And then we get to, this is around the time we also meet, this is around the time where we get, more introduced to Lucy Steele and who she is. And some fucked up shit happens with Lucy Steele as well. So, the whole Catch the Rainbow arc happens. This is basically almost around the time that we know who the President of the United States is, but we still don't know who the President of the United States is. So, and this is around the 4th stage. Yeah. So we have the whole Catch the Rainbow arc, and then after that, I believe it was Sugar Mountain. Yeah, it was Sugar Mountain, which is basically a stand that allows you to, you take whatever, I think it's like free, yeah. Well, it's whatever items, and you have to use them, and, it wasn't really like a combative stand by any means, but it was, you take whatever, how do I explain it? It's, you have to take these items, or whatever these items are, and you use them for good. So, I liked the whole Sugar Mountain, arc. I thought it was cool. I liked, like, how the kid was like, did you drop, the human ears or the elephant ears? Referring to the corpse, because basically what it would do, or what she would do is ask you, I forgot who the name of this stupid character was, but what she would do, she was a kid, and she would ask you, did you drop this or this? And you had to tell the truth, and then you had to use up whatever it was. So that's basically what Sugar Mountain does. So, it was really cool. Then we get introduced to Tubular Bells. Oh yeah, and then this is where we meet, Hot Pants. And we get introduced to her stand, which basically allows her to fuse pieces of flesh together and basically allows her to, take whatever flesh she would want out to. I'm forgetting what it was called. Oh my gosh. Why am I forgetting what the stand was called? But anyway, that's her stand. We get introduced to Hot Pants, which at first Johnny and Gyro figure out that they think that she's a dude, and then they figure out that later that she's a woman. She eventually dies later in the part. But basically, throughout this whole arc, Lucy Steele meets the president, and the whole because Lucy Steele at this point has one of the eyes of the corpse, I think it was, and Hot Pants, what is it? I don't remember the whole story, but anyway, and I won't spoil it for you, but all I'll say is, Hot Pants, basically, or Lucy Steele basically has to now impersonate the First Lady, of the President of the United States. And Hot Pants kind of was helping Lucy Steele throughout this whole arc. I'm not going to spoil it all. I do know the whole story, but I'm not gonna spoil it for y'all because I want you to read it. But anyway, this is when we get introduced to Tubular Bells, and then we get introduced to what's the next arc? After Tubular Bells, it's Civil War, I believe. No, I think there was one more arc. Yeah, it was Civil War. And then after Civil War, it was we started getting introduced to who the President of the United States was. Okay, sorry, I paused the video. I had to be right back. Anyway, what was I talking about? Okay, I forgot to turn off the stupid speech. Speeches? Is that a JoJo reference? Well, I think that's just a reference in any show. Anyway, back to what I was saying. So anyway, the whole Tubular Bells arc happens, and then, Civil War, and then we get introduced to, Funny Valentine, and we get introduced, well, not introduced, but we know who Funny Valentine is, but we really get to know who Funny Valentine is after Civil War. So, after Civil War, there we have a couple other arcs. Well, actually, I think after Civil War, it starts with the beginnings of what D4C is. Dirty deeds done dirt cheap. Because I do remember there being, like, an arc, after Civil War. But we get dirty deeds done dirt cheap. Dude, and his stand, well, he evolves it, but his stand, at first, allows Funny Valentine to create, other dimensions, alternate, realities. It's a really, really, really cool stand. And then that evolves into D4C Love Train, which basically allows him to redirect any misfortune, and cause a lot of bad luck. A lot of bad luck. But, basically, that's his stand. And then around this time, it's this is fucked up, but Valentine sexually assaults Lucy Steele. And we find out we find out around this time who Lucy Steele actually is. And we find, what else? We find out, all sorts of stuff. So, that happens. And, well, of course, we get the whole infamous, napkin speech. I will take the first napkin. But, yeah, so, they're still racing for the final goal. They get to New York. So they do end up finishing the race. But, yeah, so, I guess now, I'll talk about, well, Ball Breaker. So, this is the moment where it becomes my favorite part, because Valentine is just such a cool villain. Like, I remember how I said Kira was one of my favorite villains, even though I didn't like his final fight. Well, Valentine, everything about him works. His character, his speeches, the fights, everything about him is just good. And that's what makes this part so good. Because throughout the whole part, he's kind of there. Even in the points where we don't, we know who he is, but we don't know who he actually is. We don't know his true character, we don't know his stand yet. But, even throughout those moments, dude, he just rocks. He has character. He is the best villain, in my opinion, in JoJo. Even though, when it comes to fights, I still like Dio better, and I think Kira has a better character. Valentine just takes the best of both worlds and makes a really good villain. Dude, I can't wait to see how he is in the anime, because, I forgot to mention, so, it's kind of around the perfect time to do this video, too, because Steel Ball Run got announced. Well, it's been like 2 or 3 weeks now, but, Steel Ball Run, the, anime got announced, so, I can't wait to see how he is in the, I can't wait to see how all the characters are in the, anime, and I can't wait to see how the whole anime is, because I know it's going to be good. No matter what, it's going to be good. because it's JoJo. But anyway, we get to Ball Breaker. And we get, basically what Ball Breaker is. It's Gyro's stand, basically. That's all I'll really say about it. But basically, because Gyro, up to this point, he only had the spin, and he only had the stand, he only had, the spin, and he didn't have a stand, but the thing is with spin users, is that they can see stands. And I forgot to talk about Wakapeepo. Why did I forget about Wakapeepo? So basically, I forgot about the whole, Wakapeepo arc. So basically, he's there. He originally wants to fight Gyro because they both use spin, so they both have a lot of the same powers. But eventually he starts working with all the other JoBros. Well, not really all the other JoBros, because in this part there's really kind of only one JoBro, I guess, if you want to call Hot Pants one. But it's mainly just Gyro. But they basically start working together as allies, and basically it was a fight between a person that uses spin and a person that uses spin. So I thought that was really cool. That it wasn't necessarily a stand fight. But basically Wakapeepo, his ability is, it's called left side ataxia. So when Wakapeepo uses the spin, he can paralyze the left side of someone's body. And basically why I'm on the topic of the spin, I guess I'll explain the whole golden rectangle thing too. So the golden rectangle is the 9, I think it's like the 9 to 16 ratio. I forgot how it exactly works. But anyway, it allows someone that has the power to use the golden rectangle, which Johnny eventually obtains. The person who has the power to use the golden rectangle will learn how to use the spin way more effectively, and learn what's called the super spin. Gyro, and the family, because basically his whole family knows about, the whole Zeppeli family knows about the spin, and so they all know about the golden rectangle, and eventually Johnny learns it, and learns how to use it with his stand. Because with Act 1, it wasn't really that powerful. With Act 2, that's when he learns about the golden rectangle, so he can shoot his nail bullets and use the spin along with that. And of course, we get Act 3. I think that comes around like Civil War. And then of course during Ball Breaker, we get Act 4, which is just a from what I've heard, it's just a ginormous thing. Because basically the way D4C works is why they were fighting him, because now it's this point, it's just Johnny and Gyro. So why they were fighting him, well, this happens way after Gyro's death, which I guess I'll talk about now. I've had so many topics I've been going off and on about, because this part is just so good and there's so much to talk about. But anyway, so Gyro, he dies because Funny Valentine basically uses I think he uses like his spin, or Gyro's spin, or Gyro's steel ball, because that's what they use to use the spin. They're called steel balls. And I don't even remember what happened. Like, I don't even remember like the whole thing that happened. But it happened, and well, Gyro's dead now. It was so sad to watch Gyro die. But anyway, now we get a whole face-off between Valentine and Johnny. We get some more Valentine speeches, which I'm not even going to talk about, because you'll just have to read it for yourself. Well, it's those two. Back to the Tusk Act 4. So basically, once Johnny unlocks Act 4, he stands up, or this Tusk thing stands and opens up this, because D4C Love Train has these light barriers, and boom, it just opens up and gets right through the light barrier. And basically now, through the Golden Rectangle and through Tusk Act 4, Johnny has what's called the Infinite Spin, and he can just have the whole world spin. So basically what happens is, throughout the whole fight, of course, D4C is just falling apart, it's getting damaged, but still, all these funny Valentines are coming from different worlds and trying to kill Johnny. And so what happens is Johnny uses his infinite spin now to just basically spin every one of the Valentines, every one of the funny Valentines. Just spins them all. Just starts spinning them and spinning them. It's so fun to watch. But anyway, he just keeps spinning them and spinning them. And, well, eventually, what Valentine does is, well, tries to manipulate, Johnny. And, of course, we all know what happens from there. And boom, well, the final showdown. And, yeah. So, the final fight between Johnny and Valentine was really good. And then, we get the final fight with Diego. Because they eventually make it to the finish of the race. Diego manages to attain the whole corpse and wins first place, I believe, and then got second place. What is it? Yeah, Diego wins first place, but we have a final fight between Diego's version of the world. The world. Oh my gosh, dude. This is why this is just my favorite JoJo part. Oh my gosh, because the fights are so cool. The humor is so cool. The villains are so cool. All the characters are so cool. Even like Gyro, the whole relationship between Johnny and Gyro. Like, I liked how slowly throughout the part they had a bond for each other. They had a bond. Like, Gyro was always there to protect Johnny, and Johnny was always there to protect Gyro. And, dude, that's what I also like about the part. It's just so cool. Like, dude, it's just, I don't know, it's just so cool to watch. But anyway, we get a final fight between those characters, and then, well, we get the results of the race, and, well, the part is over, so, yeah, what an ending to a part. Yeah, I liked how, Johnny was able to get the, the infinite spin. How Gyro manages, to because the spin is Gyro's thing. Like, that's just his thing. Gyro's thing is the spin. So, yeah. It was just a fun part to read. I just made a Part 8 reference. But anyway, I'll talk about that, in another video. But anyway, it was a fun part to read. And, definitely my favorite part. So, now, my thoughts on Johnny and where I would put him in the list of Joes. Well, I wouldn't necessarily say he's my favorite Joe, but he is one of the ones that are closer to the top, just because I do like his character. But Johnny is, he doesn't really do things for, I guess, the good of everyone. His goals are about, like, himself. His goals, like, he's accomplishing his goals for mainly himself. While, like, a lot of the other Joes, like, even, like, Giorno, even though he's not really one of my favorite Joes, just because I just don't think his character and his personality are that good, even though he's not really one of my favorite Joes, Giorno is one of those people that wants to do good things, for, like, all of humanity. He wants to do, he's a protagonist that wants to do good in the world, whereas it feels like Johnny will just, it's mainly for selfish reasons, I guess. That's the way I put it. But yeah, I really liked Part 7. It was a really, really cool part. It was really, really fun to read. I love a lot of the arcs, especially after I got to Catch the Rainbow, that's when it kind of just was, that's when it kind of clicked, and I was like, you know what? Maybe I do like this part. And then when I got past Civil War and got to Funny Valentine and D4C, then I was like, you know what? This is my favorite part. So, part was really, really good. Steel Ball Run was really amazing. I like the whole concept of the race, of the horse race. The whole just concept is cool. Oh, yeah. And then the new way that you get stands, too, in the new universe, how it's not the meteor or the arrows, but now it's the devil's palm. So, I forgot about that arc, where we get to learn about the devil's palm and how that's another way that people can get stands. But, yeah, what else can I say? I can't wait till it gets animated, because that's going to be really fun to watch, and I might do a video on my thoughts on it. It won't be as, in-depth video on, like, these reviews, maybe, but it'll be a video where I get my thoughts on the anime of Part 7. So, yeah. With that, I don't think I have anything more else to say. So, with that, I hope you all enjoyed this episode of JoJo Yep. And, well, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.